All right, I want to start by giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rikakwadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles and teachers and wise men and great millstone that I learned this truth from. Salutations to the elect out there. So like, yeah, all right, I want to do a quick lesson. I want to get into, let's see, going into this video I came across. It says, so-called white neighbor fatally unalives black father over noise complaint. You see? All right. And as you can see, this video is an example of your enemy, the so-called white man, these Edomites, having that old perpetual hatred for Jacob. All right. Before I play the video, let's get this scripture right here in Ezekiel 35:5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. You see? And these Edomites, they have a perpetual hatred, a continual hatred for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you Israelites. Why? Because they are your enemies. They are another nation. They are another manner of people. All right, let's see. This is how they think. And this is in the summer. This is in Psalms. This is Psalms 120:6. It says, this is King David. He said, my soul have long dwelt with him that hated peace. You see, these Edomites, they hate peace. Even though they outwardly they seem to be peaceful with you, they're not. It's all an illusion. Verse 7, it says, I am for peace. You see, the Israelites are for peace. You see, it says, but when I speak, they are for war. These Edomites, they're for war. You see, because war is in his heart. Let's get another scripture, then I'll play the video. War is, let's see. Let's get another precept. Salakia. War was in his heart. Salakia, let me search it. But all right, here we go. Let's see. All right, Psalms. All right, yeah, Psalms 55:21. All right, let's get it. Psalms 55, verse 21. And this is a precept. All right. And this is talking about the wicked. All right, this is Psalms 55. Let's start at verse 20. It says, he had put forth his hand against such that be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. And that's what these Edomites do. They break covenants with, just like they broke the covenant that they had made with the Native American Indians. And you see what happened to them, you know, by trusting this so-called devil. I mean, this so-called white man, the devil. All right, verse 22, it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war is in his heart. You see, war is in these Edomites' heart. All right, it says, his words were salter than oil, yet were they drawing swords. And throughout all history, they have lived by the sword. You see, war, World War I, World War II, and we're rapidly approaching World War III. All right, let's play the video. And you Israelites need to understand that these Edomites, they have their perpetual hatred for you. You see, they are your enemies. They are for war.
Be fatally shot. 32-year-old Jakeem Williams. Hell of a thing. A white neighbor allegedly kills a black father over a noise complaint. Put it up full mass. So sad. I'm taking you to the state of Florida. Authorities have now charged Mr. Ralph Hensel on the right with murder after he allegedly fatally shot 32-year-old Jakeem Williams on the left, a father of 5, because the noise from his all-terrain vehicle was making too much noise for wrath.
Salakia.
Police say
Salakia.
Hensel was lying in wait before he shot Mr. Williams on February 20th. According to WSVN News, Hensel told police he did it because he was agitated and upset by the neighborhood ATV riders, and told police, the local police, that if they didn't stop them from riding through the apartment complex, he would take matters into his own hands. Hensel then shot Williams while he was riding his ATV, police say, according to witnesses.
You see, what does that sound like? Let's go get it. Let's go back in Psalms. You see? Let's get it. This is let's get it. Let's go back to Psalms 55. Psalms 120, verse 7. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. You see? They are for war. It sounds like that Edomite was for war. He was out to shed blood.
Witnesses, the 57-year-old walked away from the crime scene saying, quote, I killed him. I killed him, end quote. Now, let's go back to something in that narrative. According to the reports, Hensel told the police that if the noise didn't stop, he was going to take matters in his own hands. Now, there are police officers who have made arrests based on that statement alone, and they have considered it to be a terroristic threat of bodily harm to another human being. Cops could have easily pressed him on the statement to get him to absolutely admit what he meant by the statement, but obviously none of that happened. They probably just laughed it off. They probably thought, well, hell, if he does something, maybe that's easier for all of us. Regardless, you have a person who's on record telling the police, if the noise continues, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. This individual should have had at least a citation for terroristic threat, if not an arrest for a misdemeanor. But none of that seemingly happened. So family members say Williams was a beloved father and an amazing father. Quote, he was funny, he was humble, he was so non-confrontational. He did not like to argue, said Brianna Bermudez, mother of 3 of Williams' children, ages 6, 4, and 11 months. Now, they are calling for hate crime charges against Hensel and want him sentenced to death for Williams' murder. Quote, I want to see him get the death penalty. I want to make sure that he is charged with the hate crime that he has committed. The reality is, based on the Florida state statute, all of the prerequisite statutory requirements are met based on the allegation. Was it premeditated? Yes. Could it have been due to an aggravating circumstance, like ACE? Yes. The premeditation is the strong point for the death penalty in Florida. Now, I'm not a proponent of the death penalty, not going to lose sleep if this guy gets it, though. If police would have perhaps taken the first threat seriously, the brother may be alive today. And once again, we're in Florida. We'll bring you updates as they come. Thoughts and prayers with the children and the mother. All right, sharing thoughts here.
Yeah, having to wait and call for hate crime charges and this and that. And it's all very disconcerting because Blacks are not being treated as human beings. To know that this broke down fool of a white man actually told the police what he was going to do and then did it is a travesty. Yet when Gabby Petito goes missing, the world stops. When Susan Smith murders her children and blames it on a black man, yes, I remember the crime decades ago, the whole world stops because white babies and white women are important. And I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying that treating black people as animals and going into the minutia of an unimaginable, inexcusable murder is trash behavior, which is rooted in American history. It just is.
Yeah, very much so. We'll bring you updates as they come. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's that perpetual hatred that your enemy, these so-called white people, have for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, you Israelites. That's that perpetual hatred. All right, I'll end the lesson here. Shalom.